Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my acne webinar. I'm super excited. As I'm sure a lot of you know, I have a lot of experience with acne, and I'm excited to share it with everyone this morning. Let's get this wonderful party started. All right, so today we are talking about acne, and it's kind of one of my favorite topics to talk about, quite honestly. Treating acne the Renee way. Okay, so my hands-on experience treating acne. What makes me an acne specialist? Because that's the thing. When it comes to breakouts, you really want to go to someone who has experience with breakouts because every esthetician doesn't necessarily specialize in that. But let me tell you my experience with acne and why I consider myself to be an expert in this area. So I've lived it. So during my teens, I had back acne. That's really where I had my teenage breakouts. Wasn't as much on my face, but back acne for my teenage years, throughout my teenage years. So I'm very familiar with body acne. Years of being a skin picker. So when I found out there was a profession that I would get paid to pick at people's skin, I was like, sign me up. And I was always like with my brother, whenever he had like breakouts on his back, I was always like, ooh, let me get at that. So I was always the friend that was picking at people's skin. But then in my adult years, I had cystic acne. So that's really where I had acne on my face was all through, my mid 20s to probably my mid 30s for about 10 years. Cystic acne was kind of my thing that I dealt with. And then I picked at it and would make a hot mess and all of that. I have 35 years of experience. I have treated 25,000 faces and I've spent thousands of hours listening to clients, understanding and learning about their acne. I'm trusted by young Hollywood. So clients including Demi Lovato, Sabrina Carpenter, Lily Reinhart, Kiki Palmer, and many more. People come to me because I'm known for making miracles with clearing people's skin. I've identified 9 distinct skin types, each requiring a personalized approach. So that's the thing, just because you're in an acne skin type, everyone will put you in that skin type. That doesn't mean that, what's the difference between like a teenager versus an adult, right? Those are not the same type of acne, and they each need a personalized approach. I understand that preventing breakouts and treating active ones are two different strategies. I feel like when people talk about acne, they just, oh, here's an acne routine. But yes, treating acne once you get a blemish, oh, I have a blemish, now what, is very different from how can I create an environment in the skin where breakouts are less likely to appear, right? I've created many products designed to target acne. So we'll go over obviously some of those today. And then most importantly, I specialize in a gentle results-driven method that respects the skin while getting real results. Am I a skin magician? I'd like to think so. So let's talk about acne and my beliefs. Again, I've touched 25,000 faces, over 35 years of experience dealing with acne, and I can sum it up to this, which is it's simple yet confusing. Acne is the ultimate mystery. It's as unique as your fingerprint, and no two cases are ever the same. Most people are left trying to play detective, searching for answers on their own. Sound familiar? I also believe that many people have lost their way by following trends and copying routines that were never meant for their skin. What works for someone else may not work for you. That's definitely what I'm seeing is that people are following recommendations. And I get it. We're all trying to search for answers, but you really need to consult with someone who understands your skin type and what you need. Back to the basics. The key is understanding your own skin and knowing its specific type. I believe that acne is complex and caused by many factors. There is no one single cause and no one product that can fix it all. All angles must be considered: topical, internal, emotional, and environmental. And sometimes acne is just a case of bad luck, but with the right plan, progress is absolutely possible. I believe that estheticians make the best acne detectives. We have the trained eyes, the hands-on experience, and those thousands of hours of conversations that help uncover what acneic skin truly needs to get clear. I believe that lasting results come from layering strategies, which is consistent skincare, lifestyle adjustments, and professional treatments working together. I prefer salicylic acid over mandelic acid because it's oil soluble. Salicylic acid gets into the pore lining, which is where acne is forming. It's more effective at clearing blockages and reducing inflammation. Mandelic acid is gentler, but salicylic acid just goes deeper where it counts. So that's a big conversation that people are having as you hear a lot about mandelic acid. And in my experience, I have had far superior results with salicylic acid. That's why I choose to use it in my acne-prone products. It's important to also remember that salicylic acid in 2% or higher is actually on the monograph as an FDA-approved drug. If mandelic was so effective, somebody would have petitioned it to go on the monograph, and that has not happened. So, again, salicylic acid is so good that the FDA approved it as a drug in percentages of higher than 2%. Those with acne put too much faith in prescriptions that can dry or sensitize the skin. In my experience, especially with retinoids, results don't always match the irritation. There's a time and a place when a prescription is necessary, but I know when that time and place is, but I always say start with an esthetician first. Who wants to be on a prescription if they don't have to? But again, there's a time and a place when a prescription may be necessary. Never forget that acne is an inflammatory disease of the skin, so over-inflaming is never a smart strategy. Keeping your skin barrier healthy is essential. The biggest mistake that people make with acne, doing too much, too fast, over-cleansing, over-exfoliating, switching routines constantly because you're impatient, or trying to zap away acne. Acne requires patience. It is still unclear as to how much food and internal factors cause breakouts. We have been discussing this and arguing this for 60 years now, which is which foods cause breakout, which don't. I mean, this is literally something that's been debated for many, many decades, and there's no one clear answer. However, I recommend that people keep track in a journal of when you see new breakouts appear to see if you can identify a cause. So let's touch on why blemishes happen, because this is really important. Acne-prone skin behaves or misbehaves differently. So we're going to compare non-acne prone skin to acne prone skin so you can understand the differences of what's happening in the skin. In non-acne skin, oil flows smoothly through the hair follicle, known as pores. So again, it's coming through smoothly, no problems. Acne-prone skin, we have these overactive sebaceous glands that produce a ton of oil, and this oil tends to be thick and sticky, so it clumps together and doesn't flow easily through the follicle. So again, non-acneic skin, oil flows smoothly, and acne-prone skin, not so much. It gets sticky, clumpy, so that's problem number one. Then in non-acne skin, you have these dead skin cells, but they're consistently shedding at a healthy rate, right? Oil coming through smoothly, dead skin cells are turning over, great. In acne-prone skin, there's an abnormal shedding of dead skin cells, and it causes a buildup inside the hair follicle. In non-acne skin, oxygen can penetrate the pore to keep bacteria in check. Great. And in acne-prone skin, dead skin cells mix with that sticky oil, blocking oxygen from entering the follicle. So you can see here, we've got, a little traffic jam. We've got a problem here. In non-acne skin, the skin looks clear and balanced and blemish-free because everything's operating, smoothly. And in acne-prone skin, the C. acnes bacteria, which is the acne associated with breakout, it triggers an infection and forms a visible breakout. So again, you've got a traffic jam of oil, sticky oil, clumpy oil, dead skin cells that are getting all trapped in there, lack of oxygen, and then voila, it starts the C. acnes bacteria cascade. So bottom line, blemishes form when oil, dead skin cells, and a lack of oxygen come together. The right skincare action plan can help break this cycle and support clearer skin. So let's touch on acne prevention, how to prevent breakouts. Oh, I forgot to mention also that I will be taking Q&A at the end. So anyone on the webinar, if you want to put some questions in, I will be, and I know you have questions for me. So put in some questions and I'll be answering them. Maddie on our team, who is an expert esthetician, she can be answering some of them as well throughout the webinar. But then also on Instagram Live, if you want to put some questions there, I can answer some questions question as well. It says a meeting ID number is needed. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. But you can also, if you want the recap, email us at hello@reneerouleau.com and we can send you a recap of the webinar as well. Or you can DM our company Instagram as well, and we can send you the link once we get it uploaded. Okay, so let's touch on acne prevention. So how do we set up the skin for fewer breakouts? So first of all, gone are the days of over drying the skin. When I started as an esthetician, everything was just always about drying out the skin. And fun fact, the skincare line Clinique back in the day, one of their clarifying lotions, which is a toner, not only had alcohol in it, and alcohol is totally frowned upon now, but it also had acetone. So you could actually remove your nail polish with a toner that was sold by Clinique. So, but that's how we handled it back then. I mean, I never handled it with acetone, but apparently Clinique did. But the goal is keeping the skin barrier intact by using gentle products. And again, never forget, acne is a skin disease of inflammation. We do not want to further inflame the skin. That's why we take a gentle approach. The goal on preventing acne is we want to create an environment where less bacteria will thrive. This means using products to increase dead skin cell buildup, reducing surface bacteria, and lessening oil within the skin. Also, a blocked pore is a future breakout waiting to happen. So it's important to get your pores clean. So what is a blocked pore? If you have skin that has little, what are called closed comedones, they're little bumps, they're like little whiteheads underneath the skin. They're there all the time. They don't surface. It's not an infection. They're not red. They're not sore, but they're there all the time. You see them often where people wear blush and cream blushes, but they're those little clogged pores. Those are future breakouts waiting to happen because you have a blockage in the pore lining, and eventually that will turn into a breakout. So the goal is to get your pores manually extracted from an expert esthetician. Estheticians are the ones that have the skill set and the training to remove those blocked pores. That's why you need to see an esthetician. Acne-prone skin usually doesn't require oil, but it does require water to keep skin cells functioning in a healthy way. So we tend to keep products more oil-free for acne-prone skin, but they definitely need water. So hydration is really, really important for the skin to set up the skin for fewer breakouts. Use a skincare routine for your skin type. I cannot stress this enough. Again, what an acne-prone skin for an adult needs is different from what a teenager needs. What someone who breaks out once a day is different from someone who's breaking out twice a month. And you need to know that skin type. So take our skin type quiz. So yeah, the frequency of the breakout matters. Okay, so let's touch on some products that are really, really effective for creating that environment where less breakouts are going to happen. Many of you are probably familiar with our rapid response detox mask. It's this beautiful, oopsie. It's this beautiful golden gel. It smells incredible. And most importantly, it's non-drying. So we did what is called a kill study. And I took a broth and you on Instagram can't see this, but I took a broth And we added C. acnes bacteria. Again, the bacteria associated with acne. We grew it in a broth and it was validated. And then we added rapid response detox mask to the broth. And as you can see in this photo or on the webinar, as you can see, within 7 minutes, as represented by fewer dots, it destroyed 98.6% of the C. acnes bacteria as a result of the rapid response detox mask. So what does this mean? This means when this mask goes on the skin, it interrupts breakouts in their early stages by reducing the impact of the bad bacteria in just 7 minutes. So again, if we can create an environment in the skin where C. acnes bacteria is less likely to have a party on your skin, what does that mean? Less breakouts. This is also really good for people who break out occasionally. So say you're somebody that normally you don't break out, but all of a sudden lately you're like, I don't know what's happening with my skin. I'm breaking out lately. I don't know what's going on. This is always going to be my first recommendation. Why? Because even if there's no C. acnes bacteria on the skin, guess what? It's going to hydrate your skin, which is always beneficial for the skin. If you're somebody that breaks out just before your monthly cycle, or maybe every time you fly in an airplane or travel, you can use this leading up to those events. My client, Demi Lovato, just got married 3 weeks ago. I had her use this for 7 nights leading up to her breakouts. If there was any C. acnes bacteria there, it's going to address it. But if not, her skin was incredibly hydrated because it delivers a lot of water. So this is a really, really effective product to use either once a week, once a day. However, you can dial it up when you need it more, dial it down when you don't need it, but a really effective product for soothing, calming, and like I said, interrupting breakout in their early stages. And can be purchased at reneerouleau.com or through one of our pro partners. Skin recovery lotion. So when I talked about skin barrier health, look at this before and after. This is a 16-year-old who has acne, redness, and was on a topical prescription for the acne. How was that working for him? Look at his skin, so dry. His barrier is absolutely destroyed. And I said to him, okay, we need to fix your barrier. I can't even think about using acne, products for acne right now. Let's just fix the barrier. I gave him our skin recovery lotion, oil-free for acne-prone skin. It is a barrier repair lotion for oily acne-prone skin. Most brands, when they're coming up with barrier repair moisturizers, I don't think I've ever seen one that ever takes into consideration acne-prone skin. They're using a lot of the occlusives, which are not appropriate for acne-prone skin. So this is an oil-free lotion that is barrier repair for people prone to acne. So what I did was I just had him use our purifying face wash, really simple cleanser, and skin recovery lotion. That was it. And as you can see from the progression of the photos, after 8 weeks, I mean, look at it. The skin looks healthy, no dryness, the barrier has been repaired, but most importantly, look at the fewer breakouts, like less breakouts. So again, when I talked about gone are the days of treating acne by drying out the skin, and there's a lot of research now that talks about the importance of skin barrier health, and this is one example of it. So Skin Recovery Lotion by Renée Rouleau is incredible. And even if your skin isn't, visibly damaged like that, again, we still want to keep a healthy skin barrier. BHA clarifying serum. When I talked about salicylic acid being the gold standard for clearing the skin, this has 3% betaine salicylate in it, which is a salicylic acid derivative. It has meadowsweet extract, which controls excess oil. Remember, the less oil there is, the less breakouts you have, because oil is the underlying cause of breakouts, which is also why people with dry skin typically don't get breakouts. People who are more likely to get breakouts are people who, from genetics, are an oilier skin type. Again, oil breeds bacteria, bacteria leads to breakouts. So people who have dry skin are less likely to get breakouts. So this is a leave-on exfoliating acid serum that can be used a couple nights a week really hydrating with that silver ear mushroom, also glycolic and lactic acid, which are good for clogged pores, but also helping with post-breakout marks, but really, really effective for clearing the skin due to that salicylic acid complex that's in there. This is an example of a client that absolutely swears by BHA clarifying serum. Look at all those clogged and congested pores, and now her skin is clear. She absolutely lives and breathes by BHA clarifying serum, and again, the active ingredient there being the salicylic acid. Now, but we don't want to, but salicylic acid can also be used for adult breakouts as well. Somebody who still gets clogged pores and breakouts, but maybe not as often, to use the stronger form of the, or the higher percentage of the salicylic acid. So we have our pore and wrinkle perfecting serum. If you are somebody that you don't break out as often, but you're not out of the woods yet, right? We call this a grown-up solution for clearing clogged pores and bumps and reducing breakout activity without causing dryness. So this has 1% salicylic acid in it. So it's just enough to address those occasional breakouts and clogged pores without, this is somebody who's less oily, right? So we don't need to target the oil as much. And also with the glycolic and lactic acid in it, it's really good for smoothing and helping any post-breakout marks and helping, with fine lines and smoothing the texture of the skin, making pores look smaller. And then, of course, niacinamide to help with dark spots, and allantoin, which is for calming. Okay, so now you have a blemish, right? We talked about how to prevent blemishes, but now you have one. Now what? So that's a different strategy. So the goal with any blemish is to make it go away as fast as humanly possible with the least amount of scarring. That's it, right? How do we get it gone and without the red mark, the dark mark, the purple mark that lingers for, 2 months after, 3 months after? Here's the goal. You need to work with Mother Nature by understanding the life cycle and spot treating it accordingly. What you do in the first 24 hours of a breakout determines how long that mark will stick around. Keep your hands off. Your face is not a fidget toy. So let's touch on the products here. So Antibump solution. Many of you are very familiar with this product. It's our #1 best-selling product. It is for those hard, sore, painful cystic knots under the skin. Here's what you need to understand. When I talk about working with Mother Nature in the life cycle, there's 2 types of blemishes you'll get. Ones that want to come to the surface of the skin and come into a whitehead, those are called pustules. That's if it comes to the surface, if you never touch it and it comes to the surface in a whitehead, that's Mother Nature's way of saying, there's this infection and I want out of the skin. So I'm going to come up to the surface into a whitehead because that's how Mother Nature wants to release the infection. The other type of blemish is a cystic blemish. That is, if it could talk, it's going to say, I'm just going to hang out here for a while. I'm going to be painful and sore and be annoying and be this bump. But when it's my time, I'm going to go back down under. So I'm just going to hang out, but eventually I'm going to go back down under, right? Which means if you're following Mother Nature, those are not meant to come out of the skin. That's why you never want to pick at a cystic blemish. Do not pick. It is not meant to come out of the skin. Even though it's painful and you're like, I can feel something in there. Yeah, you're right. You can feel something in there, but it's not meant to come out. So what do? Respect Mother Nature, put on Antibump solution, and this will make it recover so much faster. Most people find that they get a 50% quicker recovery time with making that bump go down. Remember, with a cyst, your body reabsorbs that infection. Do not pick at it. I used to pick at mine all the time. I would put needles and lancets, and I could get something out. And oh my gosh, the scar I had was ridiculous. So again, you have to respect Mother Nature. You have to let it run its course. What does it want to do? Don't make something come out that doesn't want to come out, but instead using Antibump at the first signs of breakouts. If it's a cyst, it's going to calm it down so much faster and make it go away so much faster. but you can still use it on pustular blemishes. A lot of people find that when they spot treat this on a pustular blemish, it makes it surface faster. Great, good news. We want this out of the skin as quickly as possible because the longer that infection is in the skin, it stretches and damages the surrounding skin tissue and sets off a melanin response, which is the code word for post-breakout mark. Okay, next up. So now if it's a cyst, we're going to let that go away. Anti-bump is going to work its magic. But let's just say it comes to the surface of the skin. When it surfaces, ideally, be very careful, but ideally when you have that whitehead, you want to maybe gently extract it, right? Because it wants to come out, and the quicker we can get it out, the better. So this is where you want to be very careful. But when it is on the tippy top of the surface of the skin, you can gently extract it to get it out. Then once it's released, now you want to shut it down. And that's where nighttime spot lotion comes in. This is a spot treatment that is incredibly strong, incredibly drying, but it works to then dry up that infection and flatten the skin really fast. Then when you have a discolored mark left over from a blemish, you can spot treatment, use the spot treatment, post-breakout fading gel. This is when there is no longer a scab, and now you're just left with the discolored mark. So this is a great product. And then lastly, for post-breakout marks, our newest product, Hyperfix Fading Toner. I actually don't even have one here with me because guess what? It sold out. We launched it 3 weeks ago and we sold out. We're waiting for our new batch to come in. I'm like begging our chemists, please, 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 please make it. And so it will be in soon. You can sign up to be notified for when it comes back in. But let me show you this before and after. These photos are not retouched, nor are any Renée Rouleau before and after photos. This was from introducing Hyperfix Fading Toner, and in just 6 weeks, look at that improvement. It's incredible. So this can also be used for brown spots as well. So Hyperfix Fading Toner, it has 2% niacinamide, which is an amazing ingredient when used at 2%, and then 3% tranexamic acid. That is kind of the miracle ingredient. Tranexamic acid is not an exfoliating acid. So just so you know, it can be gentle enough to use every day, especially during the summer. Even if you apply sunscreen, all day long, it doesn't matter. When you're out in the heat, heat is what stimulates melanin cells and keep them alive. So whether you have brown spots or red or purple spots from post-breakouts, from post-breakout marks, summer is not the friend for pigmentation. So you need to be hitting it from different angles, and Hyperfix Fading Toner is something that can be used twice a day to be tackling, those melanin cells and basically saying to them, hey, can you settle down and go away when the heat is trying to fight us? Especially, I'm here in Texas, really hard to keep pigment cells from flaring up in this heat. So Hyperfix Fading Toner, again, it's sold out. It's going to be in stock soon. Also, we have our no picking twisty toy. Picking at blemishes is a no-no. So we sell, I don't have one in front of me, but it's a little tool that you can keep your fingers busy and off your face. It's a good reminder to not pick at your blemishes. Let's touch on some common myths. So this is what my experience has shown me. How about this myth? Only use non-comedogenic products that use acne-safe ingredients, right? Sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing. Everyone breaks out for different reasons, and non-comedogenic claims can be misleading. These tests use ingredients at 100% concentration, not how they're actually used in real formulas, such as delivery systems and ingredient interactions. So instead, use products that are formulated for the needs of acne-prone skin. That is the most important thing. A lot of people go onto those ingredient checkers, right? And they're like, oh, it has this in it. I mean, you can't go by that. So if a product is formulated for acne prone skin and you trust the formulator, that's what you need to go with. In the Renée Rouleau line, we've been in business for almost 29 years. What does that mean? We have 29 years of proven results of products that are effective for not only acne, for all our 9 skin types. So don't get caught up thinking that a non-comedogenic making that claim is not going to break you out, because again, everyone breaks out for different reasons. How about this myth? You can make assumptions about a product by looking at the ingredient list. Nope. Ingredient labels don't tell the full story. You can't judge a product just by what's listed, because the percentage of each ingredient plays a huge role in how it performs, and the same ingredient can perform different functions at different strengths. So when it comes to choosing skincare, again, the source you trust matters more than the label alone. I think I've made a compelling story for myself today of why you should put your face in my hands. I have experience, 35 plus years of working with acne. So can you trust me? I think so. How about this myth? Diet is everything when it comes to preventing acne. Oh, don't get me started. But as I said earlier, the connection between food and acne has been debated for the last 60 years, if not more, with studies on both sides. So while I've seen dairy trigger cystic breakouts for some, especially on the chin and jaw, there are no universal rules. You can eat a clean, healthy diet and still struggle with your skin and breakouts, or you can eat junk food and have glowing skin. That's the frustrating truth. There are no universal rules, which is why it's important to pay attention to how your skin responds and using the right products for your skin type. Okay, from a professional standpoint, get a skin pro in your corner. So as I said earlier, regular manual extractions from an esthetician who has experience. Let me touch on the experience. Having had spas for 22 years and my first spa for 5 years. So for 27 years, I employed estheticians. And here's what I know about estheticians. Not all estheticians like doing extractions. And I say the word like. The reason why they don't like them is because some people just don't have experience with it, or they don't want to hurt people. Because anyone who's had a facial, to get those clogged pores extracted, you got to pinch at the skin a little bit. And some estheticians are like, oh my gosh. And again, we don't want to hurt people as estheticians, but you need to get that entire pore cleaned. You can't just extract it from the surface. That's why sometimes if you break out after a facial, sometimes it's because they didn't get all of it extracted. And so you need a confident esthetician that can know how to soften up the skin, so the least amount of pinching and discomfort, and they really know how to have experience with that. So what my recommendation is, if you're ever going to go see an esthetician for this, I always say, so let's just say if they're a solo, you're going to ask them this as well. But if you're calling a place that employs many estheticians, when you call and make the appointment, ask the person who works the front desk. And this is what you want to say. I need a lot of extractions. Who do you recommend? If they say, oh, they're all good at it. I know from my experience, that's not the case. Not every esthetician loves doing it, as I said. So you want the person that says, oh yeah, Jennifer is our girl. She's the one that does my skin when I need extraction. She's amazing. That's what you want to hear. You want to go to the person that feels very confident and is very experienced in extractions. If you are contacting a solo esthetician who works by themselves, ask them that, I need a lot of extractions. Is that something that you can do? Because some estheticians, some facials, they don't do extractions. They're like, no, we'll use, a little device. They'll use like the little skin scrubber, but that doesn't replace extractions. It doesn't. So another treatment is targeted facials and chemical peels. That's what an esthetician can do. Also, putting your skin in the hands of a professional is giving you expert skincare guidance and support. They are working with you hand in hand throughout your skin journey, because acne is a journey. Again, as I said before, there's not one product, there's not one fix to clear up the skin, and an expert esthetician can help you. See a dermatologist if medication is needed. There is a time and a place where medication may be needed, but I always believe that people should start with an esthetician because no one wants to have to go on medication if they don't need to. And here are my final thoughts before I open it up for questions. Don't forget that clear skin is a journey and requires patience. You are not alone. And the last thing I'll say is consider yourself lucky. What do I mean by this? Most estheticians were people who had acne when they were younger, and they didn't have the luxury of being able to sleep with their makeup on and, and just neglecting their skin. They developed really good habits in their teenage years because they had to, right? Their friends with no acne, they didn't have to do anything to their skin. So guess what? They didn't form good habits. And you have these teenagers with acne that was like, oh my gosh, I could never think of, sleeping with my makeup on. I always wash my face. I always did my routine. And they did it and they form these good habits that carry them later into life. Many estheticians, again, they made a career out of helping others with their skin because they felt what it felt like to have acne as a teenager. So when I say consider yourself lucky, for those with acne, you are developing habits. You are taking care of your skin. You are really doing a deep dive into what your skin needs. And that's going to pay off in the long run because those good habits are really setting you up for a lifetime of good skin. And again, you might make a career out of it. And then your skin really is amazing because you get access to all the good things that we as estheticians do. All right, help is on the way. We are here to guide you. I'm going to open it up for Q&A, but book a virtual consultation with our expert esthetician, Maddie. She can put the link in and you can reach out to her. We do those via Zoom. Take the skin type quiz at reneerouleau.com to get recommendations for your skin type. Shop reneerouleau.com or see an esthetician near you. We have about 40 pro partners that now sell the Renée Rouleau products. We can guide you to where you can meet one of them in your area. That list is growing all the time. But if they're not a pro partner, go see an esthetician. Put your skin in the hands of an esthetician. These are the people that I believe are the most trained to help you clear your skin. Okay, we are going to wrap. I hope that everyone enjoyed this. Hello on Instagram Live. Hello on Zoom. We will send out a recap. So for people on Instagram Live, if you want to get the recap, send a DM to Renée Rouleau Skincare, the company page, and or sign up for our emails at reneerouleau.com. And then also here on the webinar, well, you get our emails because you guys have signed up for this, I'm assuming. So sign up for our emails, DM us at Renée Rouleau Skincare or email customer service and we can send you the recap. And I hope that everyone enjoyed this and found it helpful today. I wish I could bring some better news. I wish I could say to you, I have the answer. And I kind of have the answer, right? Like I shared a lot of really good things. I hope that were helpful for you. But it's just important to know that there just is not one cure. And anyone who tells you, if you just eat cleaner, just eat cleaner. No, 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 trust me. You have no idea. Over 35 years of people because that's what people do. Oh, it must be something I'm eating. So they eat clean. And it's like, no, no. So again, eat clean. I mean, I think that's a great practice, but just for people to think that if you eat healthier, you won't break out, that is not accurate, not accurate. Now, has their skin cleared up from eating clean? Yes, great. That worked for them. I think it's absolutely something to try. But again, your skin is unique as your fingerprint, and putting your skin in the hands of an esthetician they have all the experience and they can guide you on your skincare journey. So thank you, everyone. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned some things from the Renee way. And for all of you who support Renée Rouleau Skincare, I really appreciate all of you. I am celebrating 29 years this August. I can't believe it, but I celebrate because of all of your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have 3 cameras going here. All right, everyone have a great day. Reach out if you need some support with anything, and I will talk to you soon.